Hey, Coach.
Hey, what's up, guys? How are y'all?
Hey, pretty good. I was at the. We're going. Sometimes we get in trouble because we just talk like normal people, and then people don't. Like once we were with Coach Bielema, who I know pretty well, Illinois. We talked for like 10 minutes. He didn't know we were doing the interview, and he was saying stuff he didn't want in the interview, and he hit me up. He's like, "Hey, will you pull that out?" So just so you know, Coach, we're
Yeah,
we're already rolling. So we don't have. Okay.
okay. I've been cussing like I'm in the coach's
Yeah.
locker room for 10 minutes, and then hang on, is that recorded? Yeah.
Yeah. So I just want when I started talking, I was like, I should let Coach know we're going because
Good
I
idea.
don't know Coach yet. Coach,
Yeah, hey, you're good, man. You're good. I appreciate the heads up on the hot mic.
yeah. I went to the Oklahoma game. You guys played Oklahoma this year, and a couple things stood out to me. One, when I was watching the game, you had a very dynamic but very raw freshman quarterback, and it's
Yeah.
it's it's been fun to watch him not be so raw. And as you guys have started to win, talk about that for a little bit because I was there, and I'm talking about he looked awesome at times, but very youthful at times as well. Then,
Yeah. Yeah, it's Darian Mensah from San Luis Obispo, California. Really cool story. He was on the roster when I got here. He was a redshirt, true freshman that was redshirting the year before I got here. And we went through a quarterback competition. Had Ty Thompson, who transferred here from Oregon. Kai Hort was on the previous staff who had played in some games. And then Darian was kind of like the afterthought freshman kid, and he won the job. Kind of came out of nowhere. Everybody thought it was a two-horse race, and then he ended up winning the job and really earned it. He wouldn't give anything. He had to go out and take it because he was the third guy in the competition to start. But he early in the year, man, he's a really poised kid, really calm kid, almost so calm and relaxed. And I'm like, are we good? You excited? Like, but he played a really good game against Kansas State in week 2. He had a critical turnover in that game and I think learned from it. We go play at Oklahoma, and hell, before you can blink, it's 21-0. And we're like, what happened? And then probably this is really the moment where I felt our team kind of come together was we're down 21-0. It's the second quarter. Everything that's gone wrong can go wrong. And we score right before the half to make it 21-6. The extra point goes about as bad as it could go. We kick an extra point that like almost hits somebody underneath the goalpost. Um, and then you look up in the fourth quarter, we're sitting there, it's 24-19, and we got the ball twice in the fourth quarter with a chance to go score and take the lead. And so that's when you start to feel our team come together. I think it's also when you start to feel Darian kind of go against a really top-notch defense and feel like the speed of the game and how to execute and operate against that. And he's really getting better each and every week. The growth he's made has been really fun to watch. I mean, he's getting better exponentially right in front of our eyes. So proud of the growth he's made. He's a talented kid. He's a great kid. He's worked incredibly hard, and he's got a bright future for sure, man.
the last thing I'll say about the Oklahoma game, just because I was there, I was sitting with Joe C, the athletic director there, and their butts got puckered. I'm telling you, 34-19 is the final score, but that game was much closer than that. Everybody was freaking out. And my favorite thing though was the uniform. That light, it was a light blue. It's a light blue with the green. That dude, coach, those are the most legit uniforms.
Yeah, our uniforms. I don't care what you say. There's no other way to describe them other than man, they're freaking sexy. Those uniforms look good, man. We got our helmets. I got them back behind me here. Like we got, I think some of the coolest color combinations in college football. But those powder blues, light blues, those things are sweet, man.
What was it after the game? Because you've been on a run since that game. Uh, and you say that's also when you realized that he was your guy at quarterback. Like, was there a sense of, hey, we kind of belong? We just played a P4, an SEC school, and pushed them as far as we could push them. I mean, is that a confidence builder, even though you lost that game?
Yeah, well, and you go back to the week before, like I said, against Kansas State, we were up 20-10 at Kansas State the week before at halftime, and really played a great first half. And then we played an awful third quarter against Kansas State. And we lost that game 34-27. We actually scored a touchdown. We got an OPI called in the fourth quarter with less than a minute left to go tie the game. They called offensive pass interference. And so our team knew they could play with anybody. Like we felt confident in that. Really, the Oklahoma game, I think, showed them like, hey, we can come back against anybody. Like we can be in any kind of situation and find a way to be in the game. But then the next week we go play at Louisiana Lafayette, who in-state program at their place. It was hot. It was 144 heat index that day on the field, and we're in a dogfight, and we end up winning a game 41-33. At the time, we didn't realize how good they were. They're now 8-2 as well, and so that was a really a win that I think created confidence. The biggest challenge, I told our team this Friday night we were up in Baltimore getting ready to go over to Annapolis to play Navy last week. I said, guys, I'm in awe of this team, and here's why. Out of the 80 guys that were on our road trip last week, 46 of them were on the team last year. 34 weren't here, and about 20-something of those 34 got here in May. And so, and then there's 7 coaches that were on last year's staff, and there's 12 that weren't, that are new. And so just to see how this team's really come together and bonded has been fun. But I think that stretch of Kansas State, Oklahoma, Louisiana Lafayette was when we kind of got battle tested, and we kind of, I think the culture and character of our locker room became more solidified and forged together to where we play for each other. We like you can tell our kids care about each other, love playing for each other. So I think that sort of happened during that tough stretch we had.
We're about the same age. I wonder with you, your dad was a coach. Do you start to see things in you that your dad did, and you don't do it on purpose, but you're like, oh my god, my dad did the same thing?
Yeah, there's plenty of things. Yeah, there's plenty of them. That's as soon as you said that, I look in the mirror and I do some stuff. I'm like, I can't believe I'm doing what my dad would do. Without question. Yeah, there's. I hope I can age a little slower than my dad, but yeah, there's a lot.
What about being a defensive guy? Whenever the offensive meetings are happening, or a receivers meeting, quarterback meeting, like how involved are you in the offensive side of everything versus the defensive side of everything?
That's a great question. So my first year at Troy in 22, I lived in the defensive staff room more than I did the offensive staff room because by nature, that's what I'd always been around. Last year at Troy, kind of the other way around, I probably spent more time with the offensive staff than the defensive staff. And this is probably, to be totally honest with you, this is the first year, I'm third year as being a head coach. And so this is the first year I kind of just bounce around. When I just came in, had just left our offensive staff meeting room and was in there with those guys for a few minutes, just kind of listening. I've got a phenomenal staff on all 3 phases: offense, defense, kicking game. I have no problem walking in and suggesting what I think we need to be doing in every area and making sure that the vision I want comes to life. But I've got a great staff that they do their job really well, and those guys work awesome together. And every now and then I'm try to think I'm too smart and go screw them up. But I'm definitely involved. I'm at the point now as a head coach where I feel way more comfortable to really have a grasp of everything going on in the building, to the point that whether it's offense, defense, kicking game, whether it's equipment, training room, all functions of our program, academics, now it's kind of like riding a bike, and I just kind of know what's coming before it comes. It's gotten a lot easier, but I spend quite a bit of with both sides of the ball. I sort of dive in with both and make sure I know. I'm not one of these CEO head coaches that's so far removed from the football. I'm like, hey, y'all, let me know how it goes, and I hope we win. I still like to know what we're doing in all 3 phases schematically.
Of all the places that you've coached, why is hotty toddy the dumbest thing that's ever been said?
Yeah, you're an Arkansas guy. I got to remember. You know, Ole Miss fans like to have a good time. It's a different cheer. It's a different cheer. I like bourbon, so when somebody says hotty toddy, I think it's having a bourbon drink. So I'm all right with it. But no, the Ole Miss people, they'll come with any reason to have a party or have a goofy saying. That chant they have is by far one of the more unique ones for sure.
Unique's a good word for it. Yeah. Eddie.
Hey, Coach. When I was,
I got to play the middle there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I feel you. I totally feel your answer. I got you.
I don't want to piss anybody off. Might have to actually. They're on our schedule next year here.
No bulletin board material. Hey, I completely get it.
Yeah. I'm not gonna poke the bear at any of their chants. They got a lot of good players. I'd actually like if they'd send me some NIL money. Walker Jones,
Plenty of that.
he runs their collective, the Grove Collective. When I need to call Walker and see if I can borrow a couple dollars for our collective.
Coach, when I played ball in middle school, after a big win, coach would say, "Hey, we're going to Pizza Hut. It's on me. Let's go." What do you do for your players after a big win? Is there something special that you do for
Yeah, so we on Wednesdays here. It's not Pizza Hut, but New Orleans, New Orleans. I've got my own personal things I do Saturday night after a win, but our team, uh, we sing our fight song, which is you brought up Hottie Toddy. We have the Hullabaloo here, which is kind of a equally unique song chant we do. The other thing we do Wednesday, it's kind of different. New Orleans, they do snowballs, like shaved ice, but they call it snowballs. And so we have the snowball truck every Wednesday after a win. So snowballs on Wednesday. New Orleans has some really cool cultural things, red beans and rice on Monday, snowballs on Wednesday. We do after a win. It's kind of something we do with our team each week.
Do you have to talk to your teammates? Because when we're in New Orleans, we go to the boat or the casino, whatever you want to call it. Like, I mean, that's a real conversation, right? With the guys.
What's interesting is as much stuff as there is to do in New Orleans where you could find trouble, whether it be Bourbon Street, the casino, wherever. Our guys, like, it's almost I'm like blown away with how little things they have. Like, I'm like, guys, do y'all do anything? Like, they're really low key. I'm probably more of the threat to show up at the casino or on Bourbon Street than they are. But our guys are really low maintenance, like low key. I'm sure they do some of that stuff, but I never hear about it because there's never really any run-in. So, but yeah, you can definitely find some fun here. You can find some trouble too if you're not careful. But our guys are really like the amount of issues that come up are so few and far between. It blows my mind. It's actually I've been in some small college towns where it's way more issues that come up with players in town than here. It's kind of like, and maybe it's because everything's allowed in New Orleans. Who knows?
Thanksgiving game, that's always a weird one. Any holiday game's always a weird one. Kind of takes you out of your schedule just in general. But like, do you talk to the guys like don't overeat because it's Thanksgiving and you got like that sounds like such a
Yeah.
and you that wouldn't
So what?
yeah, that's weird.
Well, what we'll do, we'll do a team Thanksgiving event next Tuesday. We do kind of a fun deal. We do during, our guys don't have class start after tomorrow because Thanksgiving break at the university. And so yesterday we went and did Children's Hospital with some of the guys. Tonight they're doing a community service event. I'm sorry, tomorrow night they're doing a community service event here locally with a group. Monday they'll actually go buy groceries. Each position group will go buy groceries for a family in need. My wife and I will do a turkey with each position group for a family of need. But we as a team, before we go deliver those groceries to families on Tuesday, we'll have a Thanksgiving lunch on Tuesday. So we'll celebrate Thanksgiving 48 hours for everybody else. And then once we show up to the building on Wednesday morning or Wednesday midday for practice and meetings, and we head to our team hotel here locally, it really won't be Thanksgiving in our minds. It'll be like a Friday, getting ready to go play a Saturday game. It just happens to be really a Wednesday and a Thursday. So we're going to act like Thanksgiving's on Tuesday here with Tulane football.
Got three final questions. Are there rules on how much eye black you can put on your team's face? If they just wanted to go full, like I don't know what shapes they want to draw, like is that a conversation?
I've never had that conversation with the guys. I think I could see that coming up if somebody wanted to use too much. I mean, but no, I've never brought that up to them. There are plenty of things as a coach we discuss. Like last week we were playing in Maryland Maryland at Navy, and I'm like, guys, if you carry the football, you're not allowed to wear long sleeves because I don't want the ball slipping. And so those sort of things, eye black's not something I've addressed yet, but you never know. The number of things we have to address these days that I never thought I'd even be addressing. Who knows? It could be eye black next.
Coach, as soon as your playing days were over, did you know immediately that you were just going to be a coach, or was there something else that you thought like, oh, maybe I can do this?
Yeah, so I got my degree in finance at the University of Kentucky, and I knew I never wanted to work at a bank. And so, like, I really did it. Honestly, the only reason I got my degree in finance is because most of the football guys were getting their degrees in a couple other areas. I wanted to take classes with like just the normal student body. That's how I ended up in the business school because there wasn't very many football players going, hey, I want to go to the business school. And so I did that. I've known I wanted to be a football coach probably since I was like 9 or 10. Like I love the game. I don't feel like I go to work a day in my life like I don't let my university administration hear this, but like, man, I'm grossly overpaid for what I do. I love what I freaking do. Like I wake up every day. I'm like, I got to go to football practice and they're paying me to do this. Like, come on, man, what are we talking about? So I got the best job in the world, man. I've done, I want to do this for a long time and very blessed to get to do it.
You still look pretty jacked. I'm pretty thin guy. I put up 245 the other day. I was pretty proud of that because listen, I was never jacked. I'm in decent shape, but what could you put up right now one time, coach?
You know what? Probably 315,
Oh,
325, somewhere in that range.
come on. That's
That's
awesome.
awesome.
I know.
I don't lift. I don't really lift very much anymore. I'm trying to be more lean. So I run. I'm a runner. I run every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I run on Mondays and Wednesdays like 5:30 in the morning. I go 3 to 5 miles every Monday and Wednesday, and then Friday I run right after I practice and I go for a 5K 3.11. So I'm about 230 now, and I wish I was 210. I'm at the point where putting on weight's definitely not the goal anymore.
What's the music you listen to when you run?
You know, that's a great question. I listen to Red Hot Chili Peppers on Monday morning's run. I listen to the Rolling Stones yesterday's run. Tomorrow we'll see. But I bounce around a little bit of everything.
A classic
Little
rock.
country, little rock and roll, little bit of all of it.
Yeah, country's like I work in country music, but it's like the worst to run to. Like, there's nothing good. Maybe like some.
There's not a lot of great
No,
country.
yeah.
Yeah, there's not a lot of great country. I know. Every now and then, like you can find like I love Chris Stapleton.
That's what I was gonna say. Stapleton are like Brothers Osborne because they got the rock edge to them that you can run to.
Yeah, like I love Stapleton. Like I don't know what you can't do to Chris Stapleton. You know what I mean? Like run, drink, whatever.
Yeah, fair enough.
All of it.
Hey, I've done it all, and alone, and alone. Hey, coach, congratulations on awesome season. I was kind of feeling bad. I'll end on this. I was kind of feeling bad last week for you guys because I felt like you guys were going to beat Navy, but some people were just afraid to pick you because it looked like they were picking against Navy. So they're all like, "We love America." That's got to be so weird to go play like,
Armed forces.
yeah, it's one of the armed forces teams.
Yeah. It's it is interesting. We educate our guys on that. So I've got my head strength coach named Rusty Witt, and Witt was a Green Beret in the Army, and so every time we play at Service Academy, I let Witt address our team. We played Army twice at Troy. We play Army in a couple weeks in our conference championship game. It's already set. I usually have Witt address our team just about like, hey guys, the guys you're going to play, they're college students that wear a uniform, but like a military uniform. And then he shows the schedule of a guy at one of those institutions and a schedule of our guy. Like our guys are in the building at 5:30 every morning. And like they're up doing academics at Tulane's a really high academic school. And so our guys are doing academic stuff till 10, 11 o'clock most nights. And so he shows the schedules. He goes, y'all do similar schedule things. You just don't do it in a military uniform. And so we have a ton of respect for the service academies. Both, I haven't coached against the Air Force, but both coaches at Army and at Navy, I'm great friends with and have a ton of respect for both of them and their kids. I love what both places are about. But we play them. It's like, hey, we're playing a football game. We're not on a battlefield. We're playing football. And so let's go win the game.
Coach, good luck the rest of the season. We really appreciate the time. Congrats on a great season so far.
Thank y'all. I appreciate y'all. It's awesome being on. I'll listen to y'all too. So awesome to be on.
Thanks, Coach. See you later.
Coach.
See y'all.